welcome to my kitchen. Yeah, this week on Lab Rats, we shifted our set.
Yes, that's because we have a wine and cheese party today. Actually, cheese and crackers. The wine is over there.
Cheese and crackers, huh? What are we going to do?
We're going to talk about digital video cameras.
Oh, I love digital video cameras. Okay, so digital video cameras, fun tape things that take pictures of grandma.
Sometimes they're tape things. We're going to get into that in a little bit.
So we're going to cover three things today.
We're going to cover three things. We're going to talk about three of the new features that are making their way into digital video cameras. Not all of them, but some of the higher end models.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is optical image stabilization.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
So this is where the crackers come in.
Okay.
The second thing is where the cheese comes in is 3 CCDs.
Ooh, that sounds even better.
Yes, and we're also going to look, we're not going to have tasty bits for this third bit, but we're going to look at the way that you store the images on the camera.
Okay.
So let's get started.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Okay, so...
So first of all, show us a camera, though, because this is one of the new cameras that's coming out this holiday season.
Right.
It doesn't look like a traditional video camcorder thing.
No, Panasonic has had a tradition recently of creating cameras, multimedia devices. Basically, they're getting smaller and smaller, cramming in all the features. Now, one of the truisms in the past has been when you get a lot of features into a small form factor, all of them start to suck. That's not necessarily the case anymore. So for this one, it actually has three of the technologies we were talking about. It has optical image stabilization. It has 3 CCDs, which is a huge feat in this model. The model is the SDR S100, and it also uses a different type of storage. Okay. So
the image optimization, let's start there. Image stabilization.
Yes. The image is already optimized. All right.
Okay,
so
go.
Now what we need, I'm going to have you hold up these lenses. Okay. You would think that these are crackers.
Right.
All right, but they're not. Right. They're lenses. So I want you to pretend that this is the CCD. Now this CCD is a charged coupling device, a charged couple device, which is basically a chip that will capture the image that's coming in through all of the lenses.
So this is the chip, so this is the megapixel chip inside digital cameras or camcorders these days. It's basically light sensitive. Right. And it actually can capture an image and turn it into a digital piece of data, right? Right.
So it's the same sort of technology inside both video and still cameras, as you mentioned.
I guess once upon a time, this was film. Film was the substitute because light would collect on the film, and it would store the data.
Exactly.
Because this is an electronic version, it's a chip.
Exactly. So it's capturing the different pictures that come in, converts them, yes. And we'll tell you how it does that in a few minutes.
Second, yeah.
Right, but first of all, when it goes through the lens system, now you know what it's like to watch a film that was shot by someone who doesn't know how to keep the camera straight and it's sort of swaying back and forth.
It's drunken Uncle Bob.
Right, or it's like you're filming on a sea vessel that is going everywhere. All right, so you don't want that. You know, if it's supposed to be stable, let's keep it stable. Okay. So now you've got lenses here. Okay. All right. Okay, so you're going to hold up 2 of those, and the CCD is going to go in behind there. So you're Andy, right? Okay, so...
Okay, so this is capturing a picture of me.
Right.
Okay.
And so don't eat the lenses. All right, here's another lens. All right, so what we have here is the light's going to come through from here through these lenses, and we've got a series of lenses in through here. So it could be like anywhere up to like 15, 20 lenses. I mean, it depends.
So it could be a whole string of these guys.
Right.
And they're all, they're on the motors or something?
No. Well, one of them may be on a motor. We're going to talk about that. So some of them will be for zoom lenses. One will go zip back and forth. It'll refocus. Some of them will just condense it and put it into the right format. So basically, it bends the light from the outside world onto that CCD to make sure it hits it in the proper place. Right. So I want you to hold one up on the other side. This is the outside lens that's capturing you. It's going onto Andy over here. So, as the camera starts to sway, these lenses are not going to hit you necessarily. So, what you want to do is, as this camera is determining through a series of gyroscopes inside that the camera is moving, and it uses an algorithm
the lens is doing this kind of thing.
Right. So it uses an algorithm inside to determine, is that intentional or not? So are you actually moving the camera like this in case you want to do that? You don't want to correct for that.
So you're doing a pan shot, that's legitimate movement.
Right. But if you're sort of like jittering back and forth.
Drunken Uncle Bob.
Drunken Uncle Bob. So you want to correct for that. So what will happen is a gyro sensor will be attached to a bunch of motors. So as the camera moves, the lens moves. Right? So it'll be refocusing, and it'll be bending the light through in the right way. So it'll figure out how to get that back onto the CCD.
So it's a mechanical process then?
Yeah, it's mechanical and electronic, and it keeps the image focused electronically.
Right.
Now that's the new one, the old school. I'm gonna show you how the old school worked.
Okay.
So here's the CCD.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of pixels around the outside of the active area. So the effective is generally a little bit.
Okay,
right.
so the actual camera is only storing a small subsection, like a sort of a window inside the actual data that's being collected.
Right, but there's a margin of error around the outside in a lot of cameras.
Right.
So what'll happen is when you put on electronic image stabilization is it'll throw a mask on over there. So as the camera moves, this will move around and reframe the shot so that it's proper. So
it's digitally adjusting.
It's digitally
not
adjusting.
Physically adjusting.
Right.
Okay.
And there's two ways that it can do this. Like I said, in some cases it's got the margin of error on the outside of that, and it'll shift that around to the pixels that aren't ordinarily used.
Okay.
And in some cases it'll actually crop it. So the picture will actually become smaller. It'll move around the original amount of pixels that it would have, and then it'll blow it back up again.
Oh, so it makes this noise, right?
No, not exactly, but
what it does though is it takes a tighter image and then it kind of blows that up.
Blows
digitally.
it back up again.
So it's actually got less data. Was it washed out? What happened?
Well, it can get grainy, and the image there'll be artifacting and something like that.
Artifacting?
So, yeah, it'll create things in the picture that aren't supposed to be there. So you'll see big blocks or things that don't look right, so a jaggy on the side of your head.
Or it looks like bugs crawling on your screen, right?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of?
If you, yeah, perhaps. Okay, so that's one thing. So we've got image stabilization.
Okay,
let's move on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because
we talked about CCDs.
We talked about
coupling
CCDs.
devices.
Right. So when you've got the image...
Now, what was it? What was the acronym again?
Charge couple devices.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
CCD. There's another technology called CMOS, and I don't remember what that stands for right off the top of my head. Test.
Something oxide. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Anyways.
Middle oxide system. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know. It's going to show up here. What? See?
Boo! All right. Okay, so anyways, so let's not think about CMOS.
CMOS is the old camera chips. We're talking about CCD
It's old and it's new. They're being used in really high-end digital still cameras now.
Okay.
But it was used, like all of those old crappy webcams that you had that were really grainy, those are CMOS. So it's kind of, I said, let's not get into that.
Okay.
This is another episode.
Now, if I'm buying a camera this Christmas, I'm going to say to the sales guy, "Hey, I want a CCD chip in my camera." Is that what I'm supposed to say?
No, you want to say, "I want 3 CCDs."
3 CCDs.
3 CCDs.
Now, why 3? I mean, are we talking 3 different camera angles here, or what?
No, not 3 angles. Okay, so we've got the old CCD here. So this.
What a handsome man I am. Don't you think?
I think there's a few X-rays hitting your brain here. Anyways, so this will be one. It'll capture all of the color, all of the image, all of the details in one chip.
Okay.
Now,
and so that's like my digital camera, right?
Right.
Like if I get a Nikon Coolpix and I go, just one CCD
One
in
CCD.
there. Okay, good.
Okay, so that's not ideal if you want really hot, don't eat the lenses.
Right.
Now, if you want really crisp quality, now professional video production has known this for a while. You don't want 1 CCD, you want 3, and what that will do is it'll actually take the image that's coming in through the lenses, and it will, our camera person and producer,
Are you
Gio,
allergic to the cats there, Gio? Yeah, he is.
All right. So you can't see the cats so far, but you've seen their effects.
They're down there.
So when it comes in through the lenses, it'll hit the CCD, and in the case of a 3 CCD,
oh, cheese.
You'll have cheese.
Right.
Okay.
Bless you, Gio. He's allergic to cheese, maybe, not the cats.
Here, you want some cheese?
That's right. Here you go.
All right, so it'll...
So these are what? Prisms?
This will be like a prism. So what it'll do is it'll split your signal up into red, green, and blue.
So light's coming in, like white light's coming in.
Right.
And it's going slice dice with these guys, refocusing it, and
capturing it on individual sensors.
Oh, that's cool.
And that'll be crisper. So we've got it right here. So we've got red.
Okay.
Actually, this is red.
Okay.
This is green, and this is blue.
Cool.
So you can see slight differences in the way that it's captured this image in the 3 different channels here. So it's the same sort of thing. So it'll put it on the ends of each of these pieces of cheese, and it'll hit these sensors.
Light comes in here, it splits out, and goes to each of these chips.
Right. So don't eat the CCDs.
It's a prism. Danish Havarti.
Yeah. All right. So then basically what will happen is it'll save each of these separately, and then it'll composite them all together back to this same image again.
Tell me something. Why? Why do I care? Why do I want 3 chips instead of 1? Like, what's the advantage here?
The picture will be much more defined. It'll be a much clearer picture.
Will it be
much sharper, It'll have better color. So that's why you want that.
So remember, when you ask for a camera this Christmas, say, I want 3 CCDs because it's much sharper. That's what you have to tell your mom and dad.
You're going to pay for the privilege, though.
Well,
the 3 CCD cameras can run over $1,000. I think that's going to come down. Now, this one right here, it has 3 CCDs in it, but it's running about 1,500
this one,
Canadian.
What is it?
1,500 Canadian. It's the SDR S100 from Panasonic.
That's nice.
And it has a few other features. Its compactness also helps bring that price up. But 3 CCDs are going to make it their way into the consumer marketplace. I think Panasonic actually has full-size models that are under $1,000.
Now, pro cameras have 3 CCDs, right? I mean, the camera that's capturing us here and here and there are they're all 3 CCD chips, correct?
Well, this one isn't right here, so you can see. I'm a little bit more.
You're looking a little uglier today?
I'm looking way uglier than usual, and that's because I'm only in single CCD crispness.
But I, on the other hand, I'm in glorious 3 CCD. So you're seeing like the reds in my skin because it's coming on one, and the greens in my teeth.
Sharper isn't always better. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about one last thing with this one. Now, I've talked about the compactness of this camera, and there's a reason for that. So most digital video cameras these days that you get for consumer will store onto tape.
Oh, so this is kind of like so cameras today, they used to, like, you remember these VHS tapes? This is actually physically magnetic tape, right? Remember these big boxes here? So this is a mini version of that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It's roughly the same sort of thing. It's got 2 spools. It pulls them across. It stores it magnetically onto this tape. And now this is digital. That's not, but same general principle.
Okay, so most camcorders today uses mini DV tapes.
Right.
That is the standard for camcorders at the moment.
Right. There's a few variations, but mini DV is pretty much the one to go to.
And that's almost broadcast quality.
Yes, almost.
In fact, back when I was working on Call for Help, we actually shoot sometimes on mini DV, and it's good enough to show on television.
Yes. So what's coming out next, and what hasn't quite caught on yet, not DVDs. There are DVD camcorders out there as well, but that's not what I'm going to talk about here. Now this one is very small, and you can see it's barely larger than the mini DV tape.
Itself, yeah.
Right, so, and the reason it does that is because it actually has a secure digital card in here. This is 2 gigabytes of flash memory.
This is what goes in the palms. It goes in some still cameras, and so basically,
a lot of devices will take secure digital variations on flash memory. So whether it's compact flash, XD,
this is
whatever.
Tapeless.
It's tapeless. It'll record it all onto this one little card. Now, this 2 gigabyte card will handle about 26 minutes.
And versus what?
That will hold about an hour.
Right. Or 90 minutes in some
Or 90 minutes, depending on how much tape you have on there.
Right.
So, and the difference in price, this is about $10.
Yeah.
This card in here is about $200. Oh. So $200 for 26 minutes, not so great.
That's crappy.
Not so great.
That sucks.
So, yeah, but you can reuse them, whatever. It's the way of the future. It'll get cheaper.
Yeah, well,
and it'll get better. And it's gotten fast enough now to record a full video stream. And, as soon as they come down in price quite a bit, then, that'll be the way of the future. All of these bulky camcorders will give way to much smaller models.
Well, that was fascinating. Thank you so much.
Right, you can
I actually learned something today. I didn't know all this, so thank you for doing the research on this for us. So that's the end of episode 3 of Lab Rats. I want to remind you about our website, labrats.tv. Yeah, you've probably already been there because you've been downloading. We have a brand new server, which is good.
And we have a blog now, too.
We have a blog now, labratstv/blog. We like feedback. We've been getting a lot of people posting, tell us what they like and don't like and things like that, so please go there. And of course, you can email us now, can't you? feedback@labrats.tv. Well, that you having a good time? Is it tasty?
CCDs. Oh, no more CCDs for me.
Okay, that's it for us. Episode 3. Thanks for downloading. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you at the next episode, I guess.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. See you later.
Are you